Hello and welcome to Words Within Podcast. I am so excited that God has led you here. I hope that you stay connected with us, subscribe, like, and comment to follow up with me in this journey. I encourage you to watch my previous video to hear my testimony, how I came to Christ. This is Cristal, and here we're gonna grow, overcome, and be renewed in grace, faith, and purpose. This is an intro episode. I will be sharing why I'm starting this podcast, about me and our goal. I am so excited and thankful to begin this podcast because I have so many words to share. I know that He didn't plant that idea in my head for no reason. And now I see how He was there behind the scene, working on everything so that this could be. I thank God that He gave me the confirmation to begin this podcast and to be here now, sharing it with you. I want to use Words Within Podcast to share uplifting, motivating, and inspiring words. Words of faith, grace, and purpose to motivate us, to uplift us, to inspire us. Life is hard, and our journey will be hard. Whether you're far away from God or walking with God right now, life will be hard. And we all need reminder and messages to keep us strong and to keep us going and to remind us of God's love, grace, mercy, and purpose in your life. And that is what I want to do. I want to be that reminder for you. I want God to use me to be a reminder to many people of His words, of His love, of His salvation through Christ. Growing up, I always knew I wanted to help people. After college, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that I loved helping people, that I always loved being someone who you can come to and share everything with, someone who I can help with a word. That's why I decided to study psychology. Unfortunately, it never went through. I guess God had other plans for me. I want to use that skill to help others. To be very honest, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. All I knew is that I wanted to help people, but I didn't know what field I wanted to work. I was so confused and lost. I had an idea of what I thought I wanted, but after I came to Christ, all of that changed. It's not about what I want to be, but more as who I'm meant to be, who He has made me to be, and what is my purpose. I've always had messages and words to share with. I always had messages on my notes. You guys should see my notes. It's so full with so many words that has come to me either while I'm talking to God or myself or anyone. That moment that those words come to me, I know how important they are, and so the first thing that I do is just write them down on my notes so that I can share it later on. Sometimes I'll be talking to God and I say, God, hold on, I need to write this down. Give me a second. Write it all down in my notes. I remember being in this room. All of a sudden, this idea to start a podcast came up to me. It all happened so unexpectedly, honestly. All of a sudden, I decided to start a podcast. Before I did this, I had to talk to God first and ask for a confirmation, because I am the type of person that's always coming up with ideas and things. This far, I've done so many things. Most of it didn't work out because I wanted to do things my own way. I had this idea to start a podcast. I talked to God and I told Him to give me a confirmation, to give me the green light. And He did. The next morning, I received my confirmation, and I find it so amazing how God can speak to us through anything or anyone. And so He did. It's so amazing and beautiful how He uses us to help others. He uses us to be His messengers. He uses us to do His work here on earth. When I seen that confirmation from someone else, and they probably had no idea that morning they were my confirmation from God. And that's what I wanted to do. I want to be a confirmation to people. I want God to speak to me and to give me words to share with others who need to hear it, who need a reminder of His love, of His promises, of His purpose. I love that experience when I get words all of a sudden. I have this urge to write it down, and something tells me, write it down. This is something that you should share. I hope that you guys stay here through this journey so that you guys may hear and know all of these amazing and beautiful messages that I have to share. I'm seeing how God is using that skill now so that I could help people with His word, being a reminder and a messenger to others. My goal with Words Within podcast is to reach people's heart, for God to use me to lead you closer to Him, closer to His love, to His promise, to His salvation, to His word. Most of the messages that I will be sharing are experiences that I have went through as well. And I know that God make us go through things, tests and trials, so that we may have a testimony to share, so that we may help someone else. And now that I have went through those things while being with God, I want to share. God comforts us so that we may comfort others as well. I want to share words that will strengthen you, that will lift you, that will inspire you, and that will give birth to a new you. I want to help you through this journey in life, through this walk with God. It's amazing what God has done in my life. It's been a year since I accepted Christ, and it's been a roller coaster full of so many different emotions, feelings, experiences that I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. I know that a walk with Christ is not easy, and yet I wouldn't change that for nothing in the world. God has shown me so much in such a little time. He's changed and transformed my mind and point of view in a way that I never thought. This is a prophecy being fulfilled. I remember coming out of church, and this guy stops me, a brother in Christ stops me, and he tells me, God is going to do something in your life that you yourself don't see, or that you yourself don't believe or think it could be possible. I'm seeing now how God is using me, how God is transforming me, molding me, and changing me into someone that before I had no idea that I could have been. You will not stay the same. When you come to Christ, you will not stay the same. He will change you in so many ways. He will fulfill His purpose in you. Words Within podcast, everything happened so quick. The moment that God gave me the confirmation to begin this podcast, I wasted no time. I just began the process. I did my research, and I already had so many things to share, so that wasn't a problem. Finding the equipment and everything else that I needed to begin, that wasn't a problem either. God made a way, and it's amazing to see how quick everything happened. It's been 20 days, 20 or 25 days max, since God gave me the confirmation to begin this podcast, and here I am. Growing up, I was never someone who would like to speak, or I'm not a very outspoken or talkative person, but I want to do this. I want to share these words. I want to bring people closer to God. I want people to hear these words. It's also very shy. I guess this is easier. I still am a little bit. To be honest, I didn't feel qualified to begin with. I did not feel qualified for most of the things that I am beginning to do for His kingdom. It's amazing to know that God doesn't call the qualified one. He qualifies the called one. Even when I myself can't see me doing it, God knows that I can. God sees me doing it. He's the one who gives me the strength, and it's amazing to see how God works in our life, how God encourages us, and how He's the one playing behind the scenes. Well, behind the scenes for some people, but for me now it's more clear to see God working in my life. I see Him more clearly. I see how everything comes to be. It's amazing that I get to see Him working, that I get to see Him pulling the pieces out of places that I never thought that could be pulled. He makes a way when there seems to be none. What seems impossible for us is possible with Him. I want to use this podcast to share so many beautiful and encouraging words that God has planted in my heart. And so I hope that you stay connected to hear these words, to stay encouraged and motivated. I hope this word bless you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to stay connected through this journey. Thank you so much for watching Words Within podcast. God bless you.